Luke 23:43. This day you will be with me in paradise. The word paradise conjures in our minds lots of interesting imagery. For many, it causes them to think of endless beaches with blue ocean waters lapping against it. Others might imagine golf courses where they can play to their heart's delight, or someplace where all of their desires are tickled. Yet we know that this is not what Christ is promising to the criminal beside him on the cross. Instead, we know that Christ is promising that criminal that he will be with him in heaven. And this is good and right. But there is more depth to this promise. The word paradise is almost never used in the New Testament. But there we learn something interesting, for it has a connotation of a garden. Christ is promising not simply that the criminal will be in heaven with him, but an actual restoration. He is promising the thief that he will enjoy the way that it was supposed to be before the fall, that he will get to enjoy true and full communion with God. When we finally rest in Christ, this is what we are promised. Not that our worldly desires will become fulfilled, but that we will be restored towards a state as it was before the fall. As we know, this is a long and slow process, but one that is ultimately our hope, a full restoration of communion with God. As we read the book of Revelation, we reach the climax and conclusion of it. This is that final vision, not that of nirvana, of some kind of bliss of the Eastern and Neo-Eastern religions, but that we will finally and fully know God, and he will know us intimately. And we will dwell in his house forever. Even as Christ is dying on the cross, suffering incredible pain, he provides hope to the repentant criminal. We share in that hope, and we know that when our lives come to an end, that we too can trust in that promise. We know that although we will die, it is in dying in that final day we will be raised with Christ. As we long to be together as churches, missing our friends and Christian brothers and sisters, we're reminded that this is but a fraction of our longing for eternity. During this time of being apart from the church, we are reminded of how much we long for that final day when sin will no longer separate us from God, our Creator, and from one another. Amidst this pandemic, and especially on this Good Friday, our longing for eternity with Christ and with his body takes on that special significance. We are never with hope, but rather we know that one day soon we will be together again. And then in eternity, we will know Christ perfectly and enjoy complete fellowship with him. Let us hold to the hope that we too will be with Christ in paradise.